Hi guys! So for those who don't know, March is all about middle grade books. So the tag Middle Grade March was started by Katie from Life Between Words and Krista from Books and Jams. We'll link the accounts below. They started this tag about 3 years ago, I believe. I think this is the third year. And yeah, and it's just a month-long fun of reading middle grade books. Yeah. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to be 8 to 12 or a middle grader to enjoy middle grade books. They're fun for any age. And we're going to be sharing some of the books that we're hoping to get through this month.
Yeah.
The tag is really simple. Like, they have some prompts over at their account that you can follow. I think there's like 5 prompts that you can do, but you can also just like read. The goal is to read at least one middle grade book for the entire month, and you have successfully participated in Middle Grade March. So yeah.
I think over on Instagram, there's also a similar thing where like there's a daily prompt and it can be like favorite cover, favorite author, what you're reading now, all that kind of stuff. So we will also leave the hashtag for that below so you can check out what's going on Instagram.
Totally. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So Sally, do you want to start with the first book that you want to read?
So I'm focusing on books, like backlist titles that I've been meaning to read forever, but so much of my job involves reading what's about to come out in the next 6 months to a year. So I'm going to backtrack a bit and start with, I've got a classic. I've got one from an author I just recently read another book from. Let's just get started. Sorry.
A lot more organized TBR than my TBR.
So the first one on my list is When You Reach Me by Rebecca Stead. I just read earlier this year her newest one that's coming out in May, which is The List of Things That Will Not Change, I believe it's called. And I loved it. I love the writing so much. So When You Reach Me, I don't know if it was her first, but I believe she won the Newbery for it, or at least an honor.
It's so good.
It's like contemporary sci-fi time travel.
Yeah, but it's so
my jam.
Yeah, but the sci-fi and like it's just so subtle. Like you don't really know when you're like throughout like the first like chunk of the book.
Right.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited.
But basically, the main character is a 6th grader, and she starts receiving letters from someone who like knows everything about her, and also like things that nobody could know, things from the future. And then there's a mystery tied into it as well. It sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first one.
The audiobook for that book is also really enjoyable.
Good to know. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, it's a really short read. So, yeah. All right, so my first book that I want to tackle this month is Sal and Gabi Break the Universe. This was a book actually recommended during one of our author chats when we chatted with the author of Cog, Greg.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And we asked him what middle grade sci-fi books do you recommend? And this was like, he really recommended this. He was like, I wish I could write as funny as the author of this book. And it's a Rick Riordan Presents book, and it has Cuban folklore in it, and it's also sci-fi. And it's supposed to be really, really funny, and I've just heard like great reviews from it. So
yeah, I haven't had a chance to get to that one yet either.
Yeah.
I think the second one is coming out very soon though, so you can get on top and then be totally prepared when the second one comes out.
Yeah. So that's what I'm really excited for. I think I need a good laugh. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So speaking of folklore, the next one on my list is The Jumbies by Tracey Baptiste. The third one is either about to come out or has just very recently come out. But I haven't read any of them. So it is based on Caribbean folklore. You were just talking about it recently in the Bump in the Night reading recommendations video, and it reminded me how long I've been meaning to read it for.
Yeah.
But it sounds like
it's awesome.
Spooky and just, I'm really excited for this one.
I think you'll like it. Yeah, it's a fun one. Yeah. Nice. Okay, my second book is something I've been meaning to read for years and years, even before I kind of like started this this job at OwlCrate Junior and was like exposed to so many more middle grade books. It's called The Thing About the Jellyfish by Ali Benjamin, and I read my first Ali Benjamin I think as soon as I started this job almost last year.
Yeah, we would have just...
Yeah, and it's The Next Great Polly Fink, and I loved this book. I just thought it was so funny. I loved how she dealt with, like, all these kind of, like, middle grade issues, and, it was so fun, and I think The Thing About the Jellyfish won a bunch of awards.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it... Yeah, but,
oh, that's the wrong book.
I'm very excited to dive into it. Yeah, it does have a book.
The National Book Award finalist. The
Yeah.
Thing About Jellyfish.
Yeah. I love Ali Benjamin. She's actually releasing, this is a side note, but she just finished her first adult novel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on Instagram,
Cool.
and it looks really exciting.
Great.
Yeah, that's my second book.
Next. My third one is The Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler.
Yeah.
I've never read it. It came out in the 70s. It's like such a pivotal classic middle grade story. I don't know how maybe I'll start reading it and be like, oh, I did read this as a kid.
Oh.
But I don't remember it. But yeah, like classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's even mentioned or referenced in The Office, which
Oh, really?
so obviously I need to read this book.
Yeah.
But the main character and her little brother run away from home and go and live in the Metropolitan Museum in New York City.
Oh.
And then there's like an art mystery that they get tangled up in because I think somebody maybe tries to steal from the net.
That
Sounds
so
like
cool.
how have I not read this one? It's ridiculous. It's about time.
Yeah, I actually didn't know this was an actual book because the Mixed Up Files there's like a website for like middle grade content.
Yeah, shout out to that website,
which is
so
really
great.
cool. We'll link that below as well. Until I think I saw it at a bookstore very recently, and I was like, wait, is this based on the website? Like, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, this is a classic middle grade book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I should get on that too. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Everybody read it.
Yeah. All right. My next book is an author that I've been seeing around quite a lot, David Walliams. He's a very prolific, famous British middle grade author, and I've always wanted to read his books. The covers of those books look so much fun. And I have a copy of The Midnight Gang at home, and I was flipping through it this morning, and it has great illustrations, and it looks like so much fun. So that's my... I love, like, British humor and, like, just funny middle grade books, so...
I think he very much follows in the footsteps of Roald Dahl, and a lot of his illustrations look a lot very similar to Quentin Blake kind of stuff.
Yeah. Have you read any David Walliams?
He's somebody that I would read like chunks of while I was working at the bookstore, but I don't think I've ever actually read one cover to cover. But he's very funny. It's
nice.
Very middle grade humor in the best way.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. And my last one, this one keeps coming across my desk. I've got more titles than I'm about to talk. I thought to ask Vey how many books she was talking about after I'd already come up with a list of 10 books. So.
I can't read 10 books in a month, so I have to
I forgot we were doing a TBR and not just talking about books, which happens to me every time we do a TBR. Anyways, my last one for middle grade March is Esperanza Writing by Pam Muñoz Ryan. This one, I've heard about for ages since it came out, but in the last month, I would say it keeps coming across my path. It keeps being recommended. If you liked this one, you have to read this one. Anyways, it is about a Mexican family who in Mexico, they're quite well off, but through circumstances they have to flee to California during the Great Depression and end up working on a farm labor camp. So Esperanza is she's sort of always had everything that she wants and needs, and is suddenly thrust into this completely different, hard life experience. been on a real historical fiction
Yeah.
kick lately, especially from the sort of like Dust Bowl era. So
I love the author of, she wrote Echo, which I read a few months ago,
yeah.
and it's this thick book, but if you can get your hands on an audiobook, the audiobook just like blew my mind. It was so good. It's also historical fiction, and there's 3 parts to it, and like 3 different eras and 3 different kind of characters, but the common theme between them is like a harmonica. So in the audiobook, the harmonica plays a really large part in it, and it was just like, it was so well done. Also, it's like such a fantastic story. Yeah, it was like 12 or 14 hours long, and I was captivated through the whole thing. It was great.
That's great.
So another recommendation, Echo by Pam Muñoz Ryan. Really good. Yeah. All right.
I knew we'd sneak in more.
Yeah.
Here.
And my final one is a book called Shouting at the Rain by Lynda Mullaly Hunt. And I've been seeing this book around a lot. And yeah, I've just been like, she also wrote a book called Fish in a Tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you read that?
Another one that I read bits and pieces of while I was working in the bookstore.
That also looks like a great book that I want to read. But I think I have a copy of Shouting at the Rain at home, so I think I want to start with that. It looks really good. I don't know too much about the plot or anything, but like I've heard good reviews, and so that's what I'm going to end my month with.
Awesome.
Hopefully. Yeah. So those are lots of great middle grade book recommendations.
We always love to hear
Yeah.
if you're taking part in middle grade March, or you're just happen to be reading a middle grade book, or have ones that you want to read. Leave the comments below. We always love to hear from you. And I think we're gonna do a follow-up to this at the end of the month, and maybe a mid-month check-in if we can get our act together.
You can squeeze one in. Yeah, totally. We also have like lots of like past videos about like middle grade books that we are always recommending.
Yeah, lots of book hauls and recommendation videos.
Yeah, and they're like all kind of organized by themes. So if you're interested in checking those out, those are good places to go find TBR books as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So thank you so much for watching. We would love it if you joined in on a middle grade March with us. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more bookish videos every week. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome. Bye!